Did you have a moment maybe this week or in the last couple of weeks that you felt like really helped remind you why you love working with people and serving people?
Yes. I would say over the past couple of weeks, I've been kind of watching one of my clients from a distance, but one of my homes in Joplin has a new client that's been really difficult with restoring hope when we first got her an emergency placement. And she has settled in so well. And just to see how this host home has been able to make a home for her that she's able to thrive in has been really rewarding. And to see, because she was struggling in another home. And so for her to find the home that was for her was really good to see. And so this week when I talked to the host home and she just had great things to say about her, it just made me feel like, oh man, like this is it. Like this is why we're doing what we're doing, providing a safe place for these kids who didn't feel safe somewhere else. And now they're just thriving like a totally different kid. Yeah. And so I would say seeing that over the past couple of weeks and then talking to the home this week about it was just like really cool to see.
That's awesome. Yeah. Did you get to be part of that process and getting her placed in that home? Were you part of that conversation or anything like that, or just?
I was a little bit. So like the home I already had because I have another client in the home down in Webb City. Yeah. And so whenever the other program manager had reached out and talked about the client, I was able to talk to the home about it as well and just kind of communicate how it's going during the trial and things like that. But this home they just blew it out of the water. And they have two clients that were supposedly rougher clients, but they're so great now and they're doing so good. And so it's been really cool to see this home step up, and it's like family. Yeah. These clients are both family to them now. So it's just really cool to see.
That's amazing. Yeah. And, a lot of people feel like they want to rush and get a client, but like it is so important to get that perfect fit. And when you have that perfect fit between a home and a client,
it makes the world of a difference.
Amazing. It's incredible. What an awesome story.
Yeah, it's really cool.
Yeah. Well, I am Whitley Lemon, and I am one of the co-hosts of the Hopeful Connection podcast, and I have Darcie Silvers with me today. She is a program manager with Restoring Hope, but she also has an incredible story to share with us, a journey that she's fixing to embark on, or she's already
getting there. Yeah.
She's already like in the midst of getting started in a few pieces of it. So I'm really excited to visit with you today about that and hear your story. So can you tell me a little bit more about yourself and let our listeners learn more about you?
Yeah. Well, like you said, my name's Darcie. I live in Joplin, and I'm trying to help grow our region down in Joplin for host homes, and so we can grow. There's a big need for homes down there, so I'm hoping to connect the people who want to be host homes so that we can really help clients down in our region. Yeah. So I'm a program manager down there. I'm a photographer, and I do documentary photography, specializing with film. I really like film photography. And so, I really love documenting life and just seeing people's real lives and the good, the bad, the ugly, all of it. I just love being there in the middle of it. I am very active in my local church. I'm on the worship team there, and I help with the prayer ministry. So I love my community there. I searched for a community for a long time, and I had a hard time finding one, and I finally found one. And so I think that's also helped me just to thrive in where I'm at now. And I feel like, I don't know, just the past few years, I've just kind of come alive more in so many ways because of community, which is a big part of just life. Just having people in your circle, people who are there for you, who relate to you, who know where you're at. So I'm just very thankful for community. And so that's kind of who I am. I'm an aunt. I'm very active with my nieces and nephews. I love them like they're my own.
Yep.
And so you had mentioned a new thing that I'm stepping into. I have recently been called to do foster care. I never really knew that I would ever do that. It was not something I've always been like thinking I'm going to do because I've always worked in the field and around it. So I thought, well, I'm doing my part. I'm working. Yep. And then I would say I can kind of tell a little bit of the story of how it came about.
Yeah, let's hear it.
Yeah. So last summer, I was actually photographing a girl she was a single girl who had 4 foster kids under the age of 4 in her home. And I was like, this is wild. Like, how is she doing this? And it was also like, wow, like, how is she doing? Like, this is so cool. Like I never thought as a single person, you always think you have to have everything in order. Like, I've got to find a husband, I've got to get married, have kids, and then I can do foster care. You think of all these things lined up, but everybody's story is so different and everything lines up differently for everybody. And So, but during this time I was like, no, I just kind of stuck it in the back of my mind and put it in my pocket for another day, you know, and I left. And then I would say like 3 months later, I was visiting a church down in Dallas with a group of my friends. And this lady in Texas.
Okay.
Yeah, Dallas, Texas.
Yes. Yeah.
We were down there for the weekend. And so I had no idea this was going to happen, but this lady came up to me, never met her before, no idea who she is. And she's like, hey, are you a mom? And I was like, I'm not yet, but someday I'd love to be a mom. And she's like, well, you have a mother's heart. And the Lord wants me to tell you that you need to foster his children. And I was like, I was just like kind of shut down. I was like, oh my gosh, like it's so big. And like, I've been a believer my whole life, and I know the Lord speaks to us in different ways. And I know everybody's story is different in so many ways, but I kind of was like so shocked by it. Like, I don't know why I was so shocked, because the Lord's spoken things to me before, and I already had it in here. It was like, it was revealed, like, oh yeah, like this is what I'm supposed to do. And so, I remember driving back from Dallas, and I was so quiet for like the first hour. My friends were probably just thinking I was just tired and just chilling, but like my brain was just like, oh my gosh,
going
like,
90 to nothing.
This is wild. And so, so that's kind of where it all started. And it's like, ever since I got that word, it was like just rolling. And I just knew without a shadow of a doubt, it's what I'm supposed to do. Yeah. I was currently living in like a 1-bedroom kind of studio situation. So I knew I couldn't foster right away. Yeah. And so I just started doing the steps I needed. And then I just recently, last week, I went and saw a 2-bedroom home down in Joplin. And then I signed my lease that Friday when I went to view it. I got all moved in over the weekend this weekend. So just like so
things
fast.
Are moving.
So I'm really excited. I should be starting my classes in August to get things moving. So it'll be a little process still, but just very excited for where it's going to lead and how it's going to unfold. So,
things are already moving. Yes. Doors are opening for you, it sounds like.
Yes.
So how long will that process take until you're like certified, ready to go, ready for a placement?
So it really depends on how fast I do the classes. The classes are typically about a 3-month. Sometimes it could be up to a 6-month. They do a home study. Yep. They will. So I'll do a lot of the classes I have like CPR, first aid for my job currently, which is helpful. But the process will be a little bit of just, lots of paperwork, lots of classes and trauma information. Yeah.
Which you're already so saturated in. It's going to be like a breeze getting through all this training.
I think that's also a big blessing of like me stepping into the job I'm at now has been like, I mean, I'm connected to so many agencies and I know the lingo. I know how things work that I'm going to be able to, I think it's going to really help me to thrive in it on the other side of it, not just the in-home caring, but also just like all of the other stuff on the other side. Yeah. Which if anybody foster cares, they know there's just so much on the other side that people may not even realize with, dealing with all the things, you know, everything's so different with court and guardians and all kinds of stuff. So so this has definitely prepared me for that.
Absolutely. Yeah. If anything, it equips you better to be, a more informed foster care parent and know what resources are and what to expect and that sort of thing. Do you feel like there's any like misconceptions, or what do you feel like people maybe don't realize with getting started in this journey?
So I am like definitely on the very beginning. Yes. There's a lot of upfront stuff you have to do when you start foster care. Yeah. Just getting everything you need, because the state requires a lot of things for your home. So you have to come up with that financially first and get all the things you need. And that can be a lot, especially when you're, moving costs alone can be a lot. So when you start out with that, there is a big upfront cost that you have to just make sure that you're able to do. And it can be stressful, but again, I know that what I need is going to be provided in what I'm doing. So that's one thing. I think that with the foster care side, which I haven't been a foster home yet, I did work in a children's home for years before coming to Restoring Hope. I worked with youth. I lived there as a house parent for a week, and then I was off a week, kind of that kind of a thing. So I have lived in the midst of like right in it. Yeah. So I have that a little bit of experience, but I do know that a lot of times people will say things like, don't get too attached to the kids because they're not staying with you. And that can be a problem because what these kids actually need is attachment.
They need
and
that.
So, it's about the kid and not about me. Like, I will get over whatever feelings I'm feeling. I'm the adult.
Yeah.
But what these kids need are the attachment, because that's what shapes their whole future.
Continuity, belonging, safe place.
So I think that is one thing that needs to be thought of when thinking about a foster care system. And just knowing that attachment is the whole point. Because we're trying to help families heal. And you heal through attachment and community.
Right.
And so that's one thing I think as I'm even stepping in, I'm making sure that I remind myself of that. Like, you do need to get attached to kids because they need attachment while their family's healing.
Love them hard, love them good while you've got them.
Yes, and love
but live like this with hands wide open. Let them grab hold of you.
Yes.
While they're with you. But if you have to let them go, then, just know that every moment you had with them, you planted seeds of healing and hope in their hearts. And set them up for hopefully a better future.
Yes. I'm looking forward to that. And I'm hoping in my story that I get to help really walk aside like moms and families in their healing journey. I'm hoping to get that part of the story to be able to help, even just to be there and be a support for someone who didn't have support. So I think that's an exciting part of the journey it doesn't always go the way we want it to go. It doesn't always go, but
most times it doesn't.
And so, but I want to be that. I want to be able to be a support to a family who is going through it because life is hard, you know? So I want to be there to help them through their hard season. So.
Yeah. And honestly, I don't feel like I may be wrong in saying this, but I feel like a lot of people go into it with the mindset of just it's for the children. But really, like what you're talking about there, it's for the families too, because I know reunification is the goal and sometimes it doesn't make sense and it's not right. But in other times it's, maybe those parents or that parent, that mother, for example, she just didn't have the support she needed to be the mother she needed to be. So just a little bit of help to get there. And you just stepping in to fill the gap, but you coming into that with that frame of mind and that heart, I think is beautiful. That is something people that are considering that need to keep that in the back of their mind. Yeah.
It's easy to like pull yourself away from foster care and foster kids because of that idea of I will get attached and I'll get hurt. Yeah. And then
which happens.
It's going to happen.
It's
going to hurt.
Yeah.
But like, these kids have already been pulled away from their families and they've already they need to have the attachment and healing and all of that. Yeah. And you're not going to get a healing if you're not fully attached and loved on and cared and, you can't. Yeah. That's part of it. So it's how we're made. We're wired to be connected to each other. So,
yeah. Well, speaking of, just all the things that and maybe the resources you're aware of, are there things within the community in Joplin area that you live in that have support systems for foster care families that you know of? Are you hoping to learn more about that and get in touch with people?
Yeah, and I've actually learned a few things. So I know there's one church in the area down there. If anybody is from the Joplin area, Christ Church at Oronogo has a huge foster care love for foster care. Like they are very connected with the foster care community. So if you live in the Joplin area, that's a great resource for you. And there's also the foster care closet. I believe that may not be the exact wording for it. Yeah. But there is a closet. I forget exactly what it's called. Okay. Foster, Adopt, Connect. Yeah. I don't know. I can try to find that out if I need to. But they have a whole like a warehouse almost of things that foster families can come in and they can get like clothing, because sometimes kids come to your care and they have nothing.
Yes.
And so you can go reach out to them. They'll get you the things, like you can kind of go shopping there, get the things you need. Yeah. And so I have heard of those things. I'm open to hearing and learning about other things from other people. So if anybody is watching this and they know connections in the Joplin area, I'd love to know resources for myself, but also for my host homes that I currently have.
Yeah.
So
absolutely. Yeah. Just keep sharing all the resources with everyone. Yeah. And especially with you being in dual, doing both foster care and still, your program management role. Yeah. You're going to be very connected and to be able to be more of a resource to other people that's needing those things. And a lot of those times, it's like an emergency placement or, very quick turnaround and you need supplies for these kiddos right away, because they come with a trash bag, if that, or a grocery sack. And that's all they have.
Yeah. And that's another
just heartbreaking.
thing. It's so sad. I just can't even imagine this is what you're coming with.
Cannot either.
But yeah, if you know somebody that is doing foster care or a host home, just be a support to them in all the ways. Like if you know they're getting a placement, if you know they're getting a, then just step up and be like, what can I do to help you? You know, like if you're not able to be a foster home or it's just not something you feel called to, there are other ways to help the foster care system.
Yeah.
Like you may not realize it, but there's ways that you can help. You can reach out to like the local church that may help or organizations. What can I do to help? Donate things. Like there's so many ways to be involved to help the foster system besides just having a foster child in your home.
Right.
So, just ask what somebody needs. Like maybe if it's something simple, like let's go mow their yard. They have a house full of kids right now. They are tired.
Beautiful.
They are, they don't have time to come home and mow their yard.
Take them a casserole or drop off some pizzas or something like that for their dinner.
There's so many things that you can do to help foster homes and host homes and those who are caring for the vulnerable and those who are caring for those who just really need the extra help and love. Yeah. Just there's so many ways that we can help. And I'm even saying that for myself. I need to even think about that even more for the people that I know, it's easy to go on with our lives and be like, well, this is what I'm doing, but like, what can I do to help another step? Like, what is something else I can do to help people in my community? So,
I think really the big part of that is if it's on your heart, there's a reason why and you need to act on it. Like, don't brush it off. If you feel the need to help somebody, there's a reason why that idea was planted in your brain and they probably need whatever it is you're thinking about. So just act on it. Yeah. I love that. Yeah. Especially if you care about children, but you don't necessarily have an extra bedroom or you're not called to do foster care. There's so many ways to help and to get involved and connected in that.
Yeah. Well, and I know even with Restoring Hope and we have what is called relief homes. Yeah. And so if you are not able to just be a home that has a client in their home or a child in your home full time, we do have relief homes where you can have people come for like a weekend, like maybe a host home needs a little relief or a little break, then you can sign up, be a relief home, have a client in your home for the weekend or a couple days or maybe a week, however long the home is needing. Right. So you can help even in that way to where you open your home up, but it's not a full-time home placement. It's just an occasional help with somebody that needs it. So if anybody is on like the fence of like, man, I'd love to help more to be a host home or to be a relief home or whatever, just reach out. If you're in Joplin and you know me or you can contact me in any way, I can give you more information about being a relief home because you can help in that way too. So if you're not sure if you want a full-time, you can help in that way. That's very helpful.
And just
we need those
a way to supplement your income too, to boot on top of that. But more importantly, you're helping not only an individual, but like give them a break and have a fun time in a different, atmosphere, but you're helping that caregiver, your community get relief when they need a break too. Yeah. But it really it benefits everybody. You're exactly right. Yeah.
It's needed too. So yeah.
Well, so, raising a child takes a village. So what support systems do you have built in that's going to help you raise up a child temporarily or whatever that looks like? If it leads to adoption, what is that going to look like for you and your community and your family, I guess?
Well, luckily I have an amazing family and they're definitely my number one supports. They got me moved in my house in a week and they just step up anytime you need them. So I have a great family. I mentioned earlier, I have a great community at my church of people who I know are going to be there. I have friends. Some of my best friends have been foster parents. And so they'll know exactly how I need the help and they'll be able to help me in the hard times and the good times. So I'm very thankful for that. And I know that if I would have felt this calling earlier on in my life, I probably wouldn't have had the same supports that I have now in the community that I have. And so it's like, because it's so important to have that, especially as a single person, because I don't have the other person in my home to help, with that kind of situation. It's just me and my dog. So, but I say that, but it's not because I have such a big community and I have like my family is just awesome,
They've got your back.
Yeah. I'm very blessed to have that. And so that's really going to be what really helps me out is that. And then my faith, like that's the biggest thing that's going to help me because I was called to it. If I'm called to it, then I'm going to things are going to be provided. I'm going to have the support and the things that I need. So, Yeah.
I love it. Is there something like within your family, whether it's music or any type of tradition or anything that you guys do during holidays or anything like that, that makes you feel like really connected to your family and that you hope that you'll be able to pour into a kiddo in your home?
My family has always been, the holidays are so big. Like my parents are just goofy and funny. And so they would make up little things like, we have a thing called the birthday mouse. And so on our birthday, like kind of the Easter bunny, we have a birthday mouse.
Oh, okay.
So the birthday mouse comes to our house and he gives us a little pile of goodies by our bed when we wake up.
Oh.
And so I thought this was like a real thing that everybody did.
I've never heard
all
of
across
this.
the world.
Yeah.
Until I was in like probably maybe even junior high. I don't know. Because it was just such a real thing for our family.
Oh my goodness.
That I was like, oh yeah, the birthday mouse came, And so I know it's so silly, but like my family has always been so creative and to making everything special. And so we still do that now. So like my nieces and nephews, they get birthday mouse candy. Even as an adult, my parents will bring me a birthday mouse treat, So it's just like my parents have always made holidays and everything extra special.
Your birthdays made you feel special.
Yes. And so that's definitely something that will always be passed down. And then every holiday, like Christmas, my parents once put bikes in the tree to like Santa dropped it from his sleigh. And like
How funny.
And so now like as an adult, I have like, I think back on those holidays and like even like Halloween, my mom would make us like such creative costumes. I was a trash bag one year and I had like, I was literally in a trash bag. It was all stuffed with trash and I had like a mouse in my hair and like just fun stuff.
Oh my goodness.
Like, so,
That's
and
hilarious.
then my sister was a glue bottle one year and she wanted to be a glue bottle. So my mom helped her make a glue bottle. And so just as an adult now, all of those holidays are like, when I think about them, I just get so excited because they brought so much memories up from being a child. So, I would just say all of the creativity that my family had and just the love that my parents showed just through even just being creative and showing us those things are definitely things that I would want to pass on.
Special childhood.
Yeah, I'm really blessed with that for sure. So.
Yeah, and adulthood too. It sounds like
it's all carried on.
It's still so much fun.
I still like on my mom's birthday, I'll call my dad and be like, did you get mom, birthday mouse candy? So like, it's even as adults and like, there's no kids in their house right now, but I'm still like, Dad, make sure you get, the birthday mouse candy. And so it's just definitely, those traditions are so fun. And sometimes the smallest things that you may do for somebody, like when they made that tradition up, like here we are like all these years later and we're still doing it, So sometimes the small things can just really make a bigger impact than you think. Even the silly, funny things
Honestly, I had read something lately. I think it was like a parenting blog that I get in the email, and she had shared how the most impactful things for children isn't necessarily a big vacation or a trip. It's the consistent things that happen in their life. So birthday mouses and unique Halloween costumes and different things like that just will never leave you.
Yeah.
That will always be in here as a memory that you just cherish. And so I'm very excited about whatever kiddo gets to be placed with you. They're going to have just a wonderful, beautiful experience with you. And
thank you.
I'm thrilled. And I know that you're trying to, prepare for this and it's very costly. So for people that maybe want to support you on your journey, how can they do that? Where can they find you or follow you at in this journey? Because I know you've been very open and you've started sharing. So I encourage everyone to follow you. Where can we follow you at? Where can we support you at?
So I did set up a GoFundMe to try to just, if anybody, because I've had people that are like, what can I do? How can I help? I'm like, well, here's a way you can help. You can send some money so that I can get things prepared and the house ready. I have a TikTok. I just am getting started on actually using it because I just didn't. So, and it's just my name, I believe. I could tell you and then you can
we can link everything. I'll get all the specifics from you and we'll make sure I include that.
Because I would love to just draw more awareness to foster care and all the things. So over my journey, I'd love to be able to share things and how it's going and things like that. So if you want to, I can send you those to link to there as well. But I use Facebook and all of those things too. And anybody can follow me. I'm not. It's fine. So so I'll just send you the links to the things that can follow along. Because I'd love to be able to just share the journey and bring more awareness to things that are happening and just my journey and my adventure and how things are unfolding. So.
Yeah, well, I've already been so excited to see everything you're sharing, and I just love the type of person you are. I care deeply for you, and I hope everything just goes as smoothly as possible and is so blessed. And what you're doing is not easy, but it's a beautiful act of service.
Yeah.
And I just hope everyone can get behind this and support you. Excuse me, in this journey.
Yeah.
And thank you so much for sharing, the story. And I'm going to continue to follow you. Hopefully everyone else will continue that's listening to follow you and support you.
Well, I appreciate you taking the time to, talk to me about it. And I enjoy talking with you too. So
absolutely. And hopefully also homes or relief homes or people that might be interested in doing care for individuals with developmental disabilities will, especially in the Joplin area, will connect with you if they have questions about that. I know we had talked about maybe you presenting at a church in that area. So if there's churches that have, special needs programs already in them in that area, Darcie would be glad.
Yes,
I know
for sure.
To talk and share about that.
Yeah, we have a great need in the Joplin area. So and we can't place our individuals without having host homes. So definitely it's something that if you ever have had a heart to help those with special needs from childhood all the way up to the elderly, then just reach
End of
out.
Life. Yeah.
So reach out to me or anybody with Restoring Hope, and we'd love to get you signed up. We need people to help support people so that they can live in families and not just put in residential homes and things that like nursing homes and things like that. I would want my family member to be with a family, because family is where it's at. So, so reach out. I'd love to give you more information about it if anybody has any thoughts on doing it. So
what's that saying, off that movie? If you build it, they will come. Yeah. So we got to have these homes built
so we can put them
in these communities for individuals to be placed in them.
Absolutely.
So I have one final question for you. Not related to anything that we've been talking about, but a fun question because I know you're like a super big thrifter and you sell some of this, you flip some of this stuff. What is like your most sought after thrift item that you have either been hunting for or you love collecting? Like what's your favorite thing?
I can tell you one of my favorite things I maybe found. I got a Pyrex set and it was at the Goodwill. It was at Goodwill and it was like $25.
Jackpot.
And cause when you look it up, it was like a $400 to $500 set or something like that.
Goodness.
Like it was a really good one. And I saw it like right when I walked into the store and I beelined. I'm like running. Like sometimes you don't even
everyone there.
Totally. You don't even like, it's like you black out and you're like, oh, you got to get to that. And once I got it in my cart, it was like people would walk by like, oh man, that's a good one. I'm like, I know. And I'm like ready to go pay for it, So I would say that was probably my like coolest. I'm always looking for baskets and cool cottage core kind of things because I love that. But the Pyrex bowls were definitely like, they were a gem and they're
a diamond. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. So that was a fun one. But thrifting is my favorite thing to do. So.
I love it. Well, that's fun. So
thanks
for sharing that with me. I just was thinking about that question. I'm like, she didn't share that she thrifted, but I know she does.
I thrift all the time. I'm in the thrift like several times a week. So
Well, it's fun if you're into that and you like collecting certain things. Like you said, you can find something of high value. You just got to dig a little bit or keep your eyes peeled for those things. And go a lot. Go frequently.
That's what does it. But,
Well, awesome. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me. It's been fun talking with you. It's always is fun talking to you. So.
Yeah, same. Right back at you.
Awesome.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thanks.